What's up, guys? I'm Garnett Strother from Strother PT, and you're listening and watching the Independent Trainer Podcast. And today, we have a New York City legend, even though she's from across the pond, Charlotte Riordan. She's just like a spark plug of a human who survived COVID with a very near-death experience that I think we all can learn from.
What up, baby G? Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for taking time out of your busy-ass schedule.
Sorry, I know I'm racing around, but we were also running a bit late, so I'm like...
Anyone that knows Charlotte knows that she's in like more than one place.
At a time?
At a time.
Would you say so? Do you know what? That's actually what I wish my superpower to be.
Really? That you can multiply yourself
that I
or
could
occupy
be
space?
in all places at all times. It was so funny. I did an interview like a few days ago for this like art thing, and they were, by the way, do you want me to look at the camera or do you want me to look at you?
You can do both.
Cool. What up?
You want to break the fourth wall, or you can just like keep it cash?
Okay, I don't mind. It's whatever you want. What do you guys prefer?
They prefer it all.
Okay, cool. So no, I was doing an interview for this freaking art thing a few days ago, and they asked me, do you have FOMO? And I was like, oh my God, my life is FOMO.
Really?
And I think that's why, yeah, it's so crazy. I think that's why I'm always doing so many different things at so many times, because I have FOMO at all times, G.
How do you always have FOMO, no matter
like,
what you're doing?
Oh my God, I could be out. I could be doing this. I could be having fun. It's like fun. It's like fear of not having fun.
True. I mean, but you're always having fun, I feel like.
You know what? I feel like something I always want to do is I just want to make stuff fun all the time. Why make it boring when it can be fun?
That's fact.
And like wherever you go, like why not make it a little bit of fun and games?
This is true.
So yeah.
Do you apply that to your teaching regimen when you're working with girls in ballet?
Yes, I do all the time.
Really?
In fact, I think I've known to like get in trouble for it.
A little too much fun.
I really hope my boss is watching this. Colette will be like, oh God. Yeah, like I'm always like messing around with the kids and like I come up with like little sneaky little naughty things that I can like, you know, I'm always pushing the envelope if I can.
Because
So,
ballet is very this is the right way of doing things, this is the wrong way of doing things. It's very black and white with the approach. But
yes, it is. Well, so I don't know if you want me to speak about ballet and what it is.
I mean, it's a big part of your life, I understand.
Yeah, I think it was a really big part of my life. And I feel like now it's, I'm actually grateful to how it's kind of like evolved because I was married to it, quite honestly. That's all I did. There was nothing but ballet. That's what you do when you're a ballet dancer. It's the same as like being an athlete, but kind of worse. Like it's like, I don't even know how to explain it, but you just become ballet. That's you. That's all you do. Your hair's always in a bun. Even if you get up and you have a day off, your hair's in a freaking bun. Like it's just the way it is. For me, I think the difference between, or there are two differences in ballet, is a ballet dancer and a ballet teacher. And it's literally like being an open heart surgeon and a freaking astronaut. Like it couldn't be more different.
Really?
Yet ballet dancers pass over to teaching, and most of the time, very good ballet dancers suck at being a ballet teacher.
That's
and
true.
I think I got so lucky in the fact that like I was a bit of a shitty ballet dancer, and I became a really good ballet teacher.
Interesting.
So like, not that I was like bad at dancing per se. My artistry was great. It's the fact that I didn't have good feet and I wasn't that flexible and my thighs were a little bit too big and just like stuff like that.
Okay, I'm a little ignorant to what the parameters for ballet is, but how could your legs be too big?
Oh, it's all about fitting a costume. And also, can the guy, it's all pas de deux work, so can he lift you? And that's why ballet dancers are quite emaciated.
Maybe you should get stronger partners or something.
Maybe you should, but there aren't that many men that want to do ballet, baby.
I think they would if they had women with strong legs to lift.
I mean, you know what, you might be right. I don't know what to tell you,
I'm just
G.
saying,
It's
dog,
like,
you gotta be flexible in your approach.
I don't know what to tell you. So that's the story about ballet. And I guess when I retired, I became a ballet teacher, just all kind of by accident. It was just by accident.
Do you love teaching?
Okay. No. Honestly?
That's awesome.
Like,
this is the first one we've gotten. This is great. You hate teaching?
Yeah, I hate it.
You hate it?
Yeah, I really do.
Why do you hate it?
But then some days I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
When do you love it? Let's start with that.
I don't even know. It's like, okay.
Put yourself into that place where you're loving it.
Okay, hold on. Let me just reel myself back.
You're loving it. You're loving it. You're like, huh.
It's like, how do I explain this? It's like, it's literally, and this is probably just me anyway, I like hate something and then I like love something.
Okay.
There isn't like a in between.
There's no, yeah, you are very extreme.
I'm
yes.
so up and down. Like, I'm like, wow, oh my God, no, crash and burn. And that's like, I think that's how I am, the way I work. Unfortunately, I think it's a good thing because I'm very intense. And I'm like, when I do something, I'm like, I've got to do it. But I also think it's a very bad thing because I can't find the balance. And I think that's my issue with ballet. But I also feel like ballet, I have such a relationship with ballet that is so love-hate. It saved my life. Without ballet, I probably wouldn't be anywhere. I'd either be dead or in jail. I'm not even kidding. And so it holds so much value to me in my life. And teaching was something that also changed my life in many ways because I'm not just dealing with like professional dancers. I'm now dealing with children. I'm now dealing with teenagers. I'm now dealing with young kids that like have separation anxiety and like crazy stuff. So it's not just anymore. It's not just ballet at all. It's everything but that.
It's evolved into something so much more that you're able to give these kids something else.
Right.
Yeah.
And some days it's got nothing to do with the job I do. It's just some days I can't manage myself. So how am I supposed to get into the studio and manage a class? Or how am I supposed to go to a rehearsal and kill it if I'm all fucked up?
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's a big part of training people is that, you know, we just talked about this in the last episode, but every episode inevitably talks about self-care. You got to take care of yourself so that you can take care of other people. And if you don't take care of yourself, all these other things fall to the wayside. And sometimes it's just hard to prioritize those things when you have these other, I guess we can call it what it is, distractions.
Yeah.
You know, being busy sometimes is just a distraction from what's really going on within us. And then when you're still, you reveal yourself.
Me, I'm like running around like crazy. I'm like, my feelings won't catch up to me. Yeah. You know, so, and that's like, I think a lot of it too. Yeah. And it's also purpose driven. And like, so some days in the studios, I'm like, I love life. This is all I want to do. I'm so happy, like crying. I'll call up my boss. I'll be like, oh my God, I love ballet. What was I thinking? Like, because I'll call her and I'll be like, I'm quitting my job. And she's like, okay, all right, let's calm down. So like, you know, I'm like very up and down in that sense. And then some days I get out the studio and I'm like, I don't even know why on earth I've spent 20 plus years ever dancing ballet. But I feel like that's the beauty of life, isn't it?
It is.
Isn't that what life is?
Yeah, I never always want to kick people in the face or be kicked in the face.
Right.
But it's part of the game, and I love it. Objectively looking back, every day that I didn't want to do it, at the end of the day, I always feel like, shit, thank God I did that today.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck would have happened.
Right. And another thing about ballet that I guess, or that's different, I think, to like just working out or like being a trainer or whatevs, is that it's like art. It's an art.
It is an art form. That's why I fell in love with you as well, because you've always been expressive of yourself through your body, which I wish I could do.
Thank you. Maybe
outside
too
the
much.
context. Maybe too much.
Yeah, maybe too much. But yeah, thank you.
The aspect of fighting, I'm able to express myself easily. But like in other art forms too, like you ride bikes everywhere. You're extremely like a lifestyle performance person, as opposed to like I'm just this fitness personality. You can't really. You're like this formless, boundless energy that just kind of keeps whizzing around New York City now. That's the way I envision you.
I mean, thank you, and also no thank you.
Yes.
Because I shouldn't just be this boundless form of energy that's like constantly like, you know. But yeah, for me, that's another thing about being in New York and teaching ballet and like doing like so many different jobs. It's so amazing and so exciting, but it's also like quite overwhelming. And again, as I said before, like I'm having so much fun, I'm doing X, Y, and Z and da-da-da-da-da, but then I just like crash and burn. And so I think balance is what I'm learning and what I will always be trying to learn. But yeah. So I teach ballet, but I don't just teach ballet.
Right.
So I do other stuff too, if you want to talk about that.
I mean, I do.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
Talk to me about your life, girl.
Yeah, okay, so obviously, so do you want to know?
We want to know.
Are you sure? Okay, cool. So I came to New York 12 years ago to be a ballet dancer.
Correct.
I had a pretty awesome career. I don't really want to name drop if that's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, I did Jeremy's podcast and he was like, tell me what you did. I was like, I'm good, I'm straight.
Shout out to Jeremy Asghari, everyone's favorite outdoorsman.
And he's an outdoorsman.
He is an
What's your job?
outdoorsman.
I'm an outdoorsman.
Professional outdoorsman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Happy
What
birthday,
up, Jay?
Jeremy, by the way.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
What up,
you
Jay?
going tomorrow?
Yeah, you coming?
I'll be there. I'm gonna yeah.
I'm not going to the beach though.
You're not going to what? I don't know. Anyway,
Okay,
we'll have this
what else?
conversation after this.
Yeah, so I
We gotta finish this up.
Sorry, yes, very quickly. I moved to New York 12 years ago to dance. I had a very nice career dancing, and then 7 years or 5 or 6 years later, I actually got dropped in a lift. And I dislocated my elbow and fractured my radius. Had to move back to England because my visa didn't support that. Very, very, very long story short, I came back to New York and actually worked for Atlantic Records for a time and just started working in like entertainment, which is very different. And then I became a fit model, which is behind the scenes, working in like in fashion houses for production. And I've been part-time being a ballet teacher and a fit model now for like 8 years, I think it is. What else do I do? That's it. That's really it.
Is that all?
Oh, I mean, like, you know, that's it. You know, I have 3 agents, so I do that like 3 days a week, and then I teach ballet like 3 days a week. But I took a whole year off last year because I was hit by a car, and 4 surgeries later, I am back in the can, baby. Yeah, and that was like terrible and traumatizing, and so much depression, suicidal. I was suicidal. Like, I thought that there was something wrong with me. And I think what was so beautiful about this year of absolute hell was that everything I thought I was got like taken away from me. So I define myself by who I am by using my body.
Right.
And my form of therapy is using my body. So like working out, doing ballet, going for a bike ride, going out dancing. And that's where I express myself, and that's how I feel good. And not being able to do that was not only like so traumatizing, and seeing myself, like I couldn't even walk. Like not being able, yeah.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that just put me in such a place that was so dark that like I just didn't want to live. And that was quite amazing as well, because especially telling people that, like everyone's like, you're a lunatic, you love doing bloody blah, and I'm like, yeah, no, but like it can get dark.
When that stuff is taken away from you,
Yep.
you know, it's like I put all my stuff into here. You know, how did you find your way back from there? Because that, first of all, golf clap for finding your way back from the darkness on your own.
Well, I'm still a dark motherfucker.
I mean, we all are.
Yeah.
But I think that the fact that you're able to sit here and talk about this right now, there's something to be said. Like, a lot of people kind of would have just been like, fuck it, you know? A lot of people did. We lost a lot of people in the last year that weren't able to have this conversation with themselves and sit in stillness and have what they love taken away from them and then come back from that. So I want you to really understand
that was big.
It was everything. And it's just a testament to your character and who you are as a person. And that's why I have you on the show, is because I think that you're a phenomenal person.
Well, thank you, baby.
And very inspirational. For anyone that's lost anything, including the love of their life, which Charlotte has, I think anyone can learn from this experience. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, of course, with pleasure. I think the thing that got me through, actually, if I'm honest with you,
Please be.
Is, of course, the people around me. I did, at first, it was horrible because it was right in the middle of COVID.
It was.
So I was not only like bedbound, but alone for like a long period of time. And I didn't have my family, obviously, in England. But it was, so the people around me really took care of me. But honestly, it's 8 years of therapy. And just being able to like channel different ways to deal with it. But I mean, some people aren't like as emotional as I am. I'm really sensitive and emotional. And so I think for me, it also hit me extra hard. But it wasn't even a choice to like not get better.
Right.
It was like, I'm alive, I just cheat death, basically. I mean, I got hit twice, I got ran over twice.
What?
So the back of my head went through the windscreen the first time, and the second time the back wheels went over my legs.
Oh my God.
So when I mean, it was like, it wasn't just like, oh, a car tapped me. It was like, no, I was in hospital and I was messed up for a long time. And my body is still like recovering, obviously. So yeah, I think it was that it just wasn't a choice. That wasn't a choice. That wasn't in the vocabulary. I wasn't allowed to do that. And I think that was helpful. And I also just do think I have to take my hat off to my own self.
Please do.
Just like who I am as a person. Like, yes, I might be a bit of a maniac and I'm a little bit obsessive, but like that is what kind of followed me through.
Right.
To like be able to walk again, to be able to just like stand up, to be able to smile. Like there was like, it was about 10 weeks. And I remember on the 10th week, I actually like laughed at something for the first time and I was like, oh my God, I laughed at something.
Wow.
Like life is okay. Oh my God. So yeah.
Well, that's amazing.
So much gratitude. So thank you,
Right.
universe, for keeping me alive.
Right. The gratitude is how we survive those dark days, man. Just be like, oh, well, not to look at things like, well, it could be worse, which is not
Yeah.
gratitude.
It's not.
Gratitude is like, it's actually very good.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that things are really, really good.
Or also reality. Like I learned this recently, and this really helped me so much because I was dealing with a lot of panic attacks, which I'd never had before in my whole life.
Really?
Yeah, like I went past where I was hit the first time, actually with
wow.
Jeremy, and I just had a panic attack. And it like came out of nowhere. Like I just didn't even know, like it was so unconscious.
Wow.
And so dealing with that was like, oh, I forgot what I was saying anyways.
No, panic attack. You driving past with Jeremy and then
Yeah, I forgot what I was saying before that though. Never mind, whatever.
it's okay.
That's called having a concussion for 7 months or whatever. So, anyways, yeah. So that was it was crazy. It was cool. It's whatevs.
No, man, that's phenomenal. That's why we're friends. I think that you're inspiring.
Thank you.
You know. But so what do you have on the horizon? What's going on next?
I don't know. I literally have no plan whatsoever,
Right.
and I feel like that's the best thing.
It seems to work out so far.
It does, and also like, I mean, not that I don't want to plan ahead. Like I'm going to Miami on Wednesday, and like I've got a full schedule until then.
Right.
But like, I feel like all the plans I ever made always just didn't really
Didn't really work
come
out.
into fruition. Yeah. So now I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna cruise.
Right.
And I'm just gonna see where the day takes me.
Right.
And if I end up bumping to FMG.
Shout out to Forget Me Not.
Yeah, yeah. Or like, you know, doing whatever, or taking a bike ride. Like it's summer in New York, and this is like literally heaven for me.
Yeah.
Heaven for me.
You're in your
So,
element right now.
Hell yes. So I don't have a plan. I'm just cruising. I'm not even working at the moment.
Really?
I mean,
Taking
I
a
have
little
a
time
few.
off?
Yeah, I have a little bit of time off. I have a few shoots coming up, and I have, you know, a couple of ballet classes and whatever's. But other than that, I'm like not really working. So I'm just cruising. And I just feel like I know that everyone's like, "What's your 5-year plan?" And like, "What do you?" I have no plan for even after next week. And you know what? That's okay.
It is.
It's truly okay with me. So, yeah. So the answer to your question is I don't know.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me, baby.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, welcome. Laters.
That's my job.
Oh, sorry.
Goodbye.